Hey guys, what's going on? Daniel back here with another video. And in this video, I want to go over how to source products from a supplier on Alibaba for Amazon FBA. So I have a little sheet right here that is a little checklist you can use when you're reaching out to suppliers. And you can use this as a guideline so that you can get the best price possible, but also make sure that you're getting good quality products from Alibaba for your Amazon FBA business. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to use bamboo straw, which is it's not a product that I've actually considered, but it's just something that came up when I typed in bamboo. Now, what I like to do is there's a couple of criteria that I look at. So the first thing is I want to make sure that they are the suppliers are gold plus supplier. This just means that Alibaba did some verification checks on the manufacturer or the supplier and has made sure that they pass regulations. They're of a certain caliber and they're not like really low quality. So I would usually highlight that. So that's the first thing I would do. And you want to make sure that you have a good relationship with your supplier. You don't want to just go for the lowest price possible. You want to reach that fine balance between quality, relationship, and price. So don't try to go for the lowest price possible because the supplier is not going to have your best interest at heart if you're trying to negotiate them down too low. So what I like to do is also filter for trade assurance. And trade assurance, what it means is when you want to go pay for your first order, you're going to basically want to have some protection. So you can see here it supports, protects your payment to delivery. So it means that the supplier has to deliver the goods to you that you got an invoice for and paid for. So this protects you, and I highly recommend that you include that when you're looking for suppliers for both of them. Now, the other thing I like to look at is years in business. So I generally like to go for people or suppliers that have a couple of years in business, at least like 3, unless it's a really new product. Because what you're going to find is that a lot of these suppliers, they specialize in one type of product. So if they're doing bamboo products, then they're going to have bamboo plates, straws, utensils, the works. And so you will generally see that the suppliers specialize in one type of product. So if the product is new, then the suppliers it might be new suppliers because it's a new type of product. So they had to come out. So I like to go for ones that have more time in business, more years. Now, a couple other things to focus on. So there's this thing called the site check, which basically means that a third party verified the supplier and made sure that their manufacturing facility meets a certain standard and they're producing a quality product. So let's see if we can find one that has a site check. Just going to click on a couple. And I like to contact between 3 to 5 suppliers when I initially try to source a product. Because you're going to find out quickly if certain suppliers are trying to rip you off for shipping or for the actual product cost. So once you have a few quotes, and you can do that comparison between them, and you'll be able to tell pretty quickly like which ones are trying to make a quick buck off of you. So you can see here, gold, trade assurance. Trying to find one that has the site check. It's like we're struggling a little bit here to find one. These guys. Well, I guess I can't find one right now, but basically you'll see an on-site check here, another thing, and it's up to you if you want to make sure they have that, because a lot of times, like you can see here for this product, there's not any suppliers that I've found so far that have it. So to me, it doesn't really matter if they have the Gold Supplier Plus and trade assurance, and they have good reviews and they've been in business for a while. Then I generally will trust them. So what I like to do is the next thing I like to check is their transaction history. So the transaction history, you can look on the company profile, and you can see here their revenue is 2018 is confidential. So it looks like they're not really revealing that, but generally speaking, if they're in the millions, then they're usually reputable. So let's go to transaction history. So I like to click on the manufacturer page. Once you click on the manufacturer page, then you can go to transaction history. So here we can see that they've been doing a good amount of volume, which is a good sign, because it means that people are trusting them and they're probably reordering. If they had a lot of fluctuations, then that means that people were probably not happy with the product and it wasn't a good quality product. So this is a good trend, this graph going up. That's another thing. And keep these things in mind. You want to kind of build a wide profile of an assessment on a supplier so that you get an accurate picture. Don't just use one criteria out of all these things as a deal breaker. So maybe they don't have a good graph, but they have other things that are good, and you can overlook that factor. So go for most of them, but don't harp on just one. Another thing you can do, I like to do, is Google the supplier name to see if they have any bad reviews. So Yu Yao Tongalian stainless steel. So that came up. So obviously they're in China, so sometimes they're not going to do that, but you could do like reviews. So we don't see anything negative. Generally speaking, if they're bad, then they'll have a good amount of, they'll have bad press about them. So this is something that rarely helps, but it's worth doing. I mean, it takes a second. So here's the other things that are sort of intangible. They're not factual. So when you start interacting with your supplier and you message them, make yourself, for one, let's add this in. Make yourself seem bigger than you are. Maybe mention you have investors. Why? Because they want to make sure that you're going to be a repeat customer, not just a one-time order. So if it's your first product, you want to order like 250 units or 300 units, make yourself seem a lot bigger. And I even like to reference my investors as a sort of deflection. So saying my investors don't like this, can we do that? Or my investors are adamant about having a custom package or a logo. So I like to do that. Just makes you seem a little bit bigger, more knowledgeable. And more savvy. And you could use an email that's branded if you want, so it makes it look like you're a real company. Now, another thing I like to assess is the quality of your interactions. How they communicate with you. How do they communicate with you? Do they feel like they have your best interest at hand? And are they generally willing to work with you on things? Like if you say that you want a custom logo. And you want to print it on the box, are they willing to do it? Are they making everything? Are they trying to nickel and dime you on every little thing you do? Or are they throwing things in to try to get the deal done? And this is not something that you can know before you start interacting with them, which is why I like to have, like I said, the 3 to 5 suppliers so that you're not relying on one. Are they willing to make the deal work? And how quickly do they respond to you? Are they responsive? Are they willing to share pictures of the products, videos? Even I've had suppliers share live video using it. Or are they just pushing you for an order immediately? Are they just trying to make money off of you and they think you're naive? So definitely assess that. And that's going to factor into the next point, which is your overall gut feeling. If you feel like they don't have your best interest in hand, they've been pretty poor, and the prices are a little higher than other people, but without merit, then they're not a supplier you want to work with. So just factor that in. I mean, it should be pretty straightforward. You just use your street smarts, your gut feeling here. Next thing is try to negotiate down, but I know when I started negotiating with suppliers, I was trying to be a little too greedy because it's kind of an ego thing. You want to show your ability to negotiate. It's I'm the man, but you keep in mind that they want to make a profit too, and you want them to make a profit so that they actually feel good about you and want to work with you long term. So don't be greedy. If there's a 10-cent difference between one of the manufacturers, but one has a better feeling, you have a better feeling with one, better quality interactions, go with the one that feels better, even though they're a little bit more expensive. So don't just try to go for the lowest price possible. And there's exceptions to that. Maybe exception on a pure commodity product. So if you're selling fidget spinners and you're just trying to get in, then sure, go for the lowest supplier. You're not trying to build a brand there. But if you're trying to do anything long term, which is what I suggest on Amazon, think long term. Don't just go for the short term gain. And then last, you're going to want to communicate using WhatsApp, WeChat, or Skype because the interface on Amazon is really, really bad, very slow. And in fact, I find it almost impossible to go back. Like if I contacted suppliers a couple months ago, it's almost impossible for me to dig because it doesn't refresh the messaging interface, which I'm not going to show because I don't want to reveal my products, but it doesn't give you an option to sort of go back, and it's not easy to use that well. So the app is a little better. Try maybe the Alibaba app, but I prefer to go on WhatsApp, just cleaner interface. So this is sort of an introductory video on what to look for with suppliers and kind of how to assess them and how to go about contacting them. It's a little overwhelming at first. When I first went on Alibaba, I was a little overwhelmed. So I hope this helps you guys. Now, please do subscribe. Like I said, I'm releasing 3 videos a week. I know last week was 2. But this week will be 3 videos, and I'm going to be sharing when I launch my first product, how it's doing revenue-wise and all that. So some fun stuff coming for you guys down the line. So yeah, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. All right.